Okay, so I'm going to talk you through your setup for this ECG Heart Sounds iWORX lab that we're going to be doing. You need 3 electrodes and an alcohol swab. And what you're going to do is clean off the skin under both clavicles and the skin just superior to the right medial malleolus. You're going to put an electrode at each of these locations, and then you're going to hook it up to this iWire B3G box. And the electrodes that we're going to use, or the connectors that we're going to use, are the red, green, and black. Now, the red wire is going to connect to the electrode below the left clavicle, and the black electrode connects to the electrode beneath the right clavicle, and then the green electrode is going to be the one attaching to your leg. Okay, once you have that all set up, you're going to make sure that your box is plugged in to this connector here, and then you also have your Heart Sounds microscope. It looks like this, looks like a little stethoscope, and it comes out of the transducers bag in your kit. So you're going to hook this tubing up to the white connector here, the A1 connector on your iWORX box. Once everything's connected, you're going to make sure that your box is on, so the little green light is on. Then you're going to open up iWORX on your laptop. So here's my iWORX on my laptop, and I have hardware found, which is a good thing. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to go under Settings, Human Heart, and Auscultation. It opens up a PDF with instructions. You can look through that and then minimize it. And then I'm going to start recording. So my top channel is my ECG. I've got my subject all hooked up, so we're running a 3-lead ECG here. Have your subject sit quietly so your tracing looks nice and clean. Make sure they've removed all their jewelry. After I get a nice tracing, I'm going to hit stop. And I can take a look at the tracing here. There's the P wave, Q, R, S, and then T wave. And the next one down, P wave, Q, R, S, T wave. So we can take some measurements. We can look at our R waves. They're pretty identifiable, so we can go peak to peak. And we can move our cursors. So I can put one cursor at the peak of one R wave, the second cursor at the peak of the next R wave, and look at my time difference. So here's T2 minus T1, and it's going to give me the time difference between those 2 points in my tracing. It's 800 milliseconds. I can move my cursors so I can check the next time difference between adjacent R waves. Okay. And this is giving me my beat period, which is basically the time it takes for the heart to beat one time, or one cardiac cycle. So I'm going to do a new file. I can hit File, New, and I don't want to save it. I want a new tracing. So now I'm going to run another tracing. You can see the noise in my ECG, and that's just because I'm moving around. So if your subject, if your tracing looks like that, just ask your subject to sit quietly. Now I'm also going to use my Heart Sounds microphone, and that's the thing. It looks like a little stethoscope. And you can see on the middle channel, you start to see some information regarding that as well. So on that middle tracing, that's going to be my heart sounds. And I'm going to let it run for a little bit just so it looks nice and clean. It'll be easier to work with. Okay, I want to stop my recording so I can take a look at what I have. So on this middle channel, I've got the S1 and S2 heart sounds. They come in a pair. You can see them paired up. This is my S1 heart sound. This is my S2 heart sound. Now, one of the things we want to measure is where does that S1 heart sound come in relation to the R peak. So I'm going to put one cursor on my R wave, the second cursor on the peak of my S1 tracing, and I want to measure the time difference between the two. And I'm going to find that in this upper right corner. The next measurement I want to take is the time difference between the T wave and the S2 heart sound. So I'm going to move my cursor to the peak of the T wave, my second cursor to the peak of the S2 heart sound, and I'm going to measure the time difference between the two. That's my T dub interval. The first measurement was my R lub interval. This is T dub interval. And then I can slide down to the next one. So first cursor on the peak of the R wave, second cursor on the peak of the S1 heart sound. There's my R lub interval. And then again, I'm going to put my cursor on the peak of the T wave, my second cursor on the peak of the S2 heart sound. There's my T dub interval. And I can find the time again in the upper right hand corner. And those are the measurements you need to take with your iWORX tracings.